we are indeed at a huge disadvantage, but also the potential is quite big. Huge potential because we have the same population in Africa as they have in India at 1.3 billion. 54 countries that speak 2,000 languages, with a continental GDP of 6 trillion US dollars. 30.3 square kilometers of pristine coastline. So you start with what you have. But also to accept that as a people with great natural endowments, this is the most mismarketed and undermarketed continent in the world. That Africa is not a poor continent, but poorly governed. That there's something to be said about the way we choose our leaders. That there's corruption, bribery, stealing and cheating everywhere else in the world. But when we do it in Africa, we do it at an industrial scale.
So let me give some background to why I guess I'm sitting here. So I was born in South Africa, lived here for 28 years. And about 11, 12 years ago, I moved over to Silicon Valley in California, where I still live. And I have interests in both sides of America and South Africa. I've done about 100 investments across the world, about a quarter in South Africa and 75% the rest of the world. And I have a venture capital fund in South Africa called Newtown Partners. We manage, we haven't announced the amount, but it's in the hundreds of millions of rands for South African corporates. So we have a corporate venture capital model, which is actually, to your point, being in Silicon Valley, I co-founded Silicon Cape in Cape Town with Justin Stanford, and the realization I had was that copying the venture capital model that exists in Silicon Valley and trying to bring it to Africa is not going to work, because you can't tap into the capital pools that exist in the same way that you can over there. And as an example, California is where it is today because 5% of pension money goes into startups. 5% of the biggest pension fund in the world. And that's quite interesting, right? So they're pumping billions of dollars every single year into venture capital funds, which goes in the economy. And the rationale behind this is very simple. If everything just died and they lost it, it's only 5%. But if it works, it's Google, Facebook, Amazon, etc., and they've now got the biggest tech companies in the world are in Silicon Valley. And we're talking $2 trillion in market cap within a 25-mile square radius. And it's nuts, right? And that's where I live.
In terms of investing and growing that industry on the African continent, how are things looking?
Look, it's been difficult on the sector, specifically here in South Africa and also on the continent, has been going through a challenging time. I think as well, a lot of investors, the one thing that they are quite scared about is being able to take your capital out. And that's been a restriction within the continent, and then that basically chases investors away. So the industry has been going through quite a difficult time as well. I think a lot of economies on the continent, because the economies are based on one commodity, essentially. Then when that commodity goes through a difficult period, then you see that economy doing quite badly. It goes through a tough time. Then it reflects in property, and it reflects in terms of what you can basically be able to charge your tenants, and then how your tenant is able to do business on the continent. So it has been going through a difficult time, but as you see commodities start picking up again, you'll start seeing the sector picking up. But just providing an answer to the solution for one thing that as Africans we can basically go after is agriculture. I think agriculture, there's definitely a lot of space for us to be able to expand, and we've got the most arable land in terms of the whole world. 60% of the population of Africa are still in the rural areas, whereas 40% are living in urban places. We just need to be able to redirect the capital into those markets, where then we give people the opportunity for them to be able to become small-scale farmers.